Welcome to the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet.
And welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Melinda Van Fleet. Well, Ryan, that was the fastest movie we've ever seen.
I know, wasn't it? Oh my gosh.
If you know anything about the weather, you know it's been tropical here in the Keys and for some of South Florida. So Ryan and I were actually going to see Maverick, and we should have gotten tickets ahead of time because we showed up and it sold out.
Yes,
so we're back
did.
home to record our podcast. So this is episode 197 for me.
Wow.
I'm going to be at 200 pretty soon.
Yep, and I'm going on almost 4 years.
Yeah. It'll be 4 years in August.
4 years in August.
Yeah. Wow. So thank you in advance, everyone that listens. We really appreciate it. And we love when we hear feedback and also that you share our podcast. So thank you so much in advance. Today, we're going to talk kind of a mixed bag. We're going to dabble in confidence. We're going to dabble in boundaries and energy, in trusting that things work out. Because, there's a lot going on out there. And if anything, we can share some stories of, just how things work out and to trust and believe and have faith.
Mm-hmm.
So this morning, you were reading a magazine.
I was reading a magazine this morning, and I was just like, and I read it, and I was like, then I turned over and talked to Mel about it.
Yeah. So we do that a lot. I'm sure most couples do. Ryan will read something or I'll read something, and then we'll end up sharing, and it'll become a conversation. And the article was sharing a tip, and it just brought us back down memory lane of when one of the articles that Ryan was in the magazine had requested for some further information. And it was a really, really, really tough thing for us to think through because the information was part of a course that people had already paid for, right? So it wasn't that he didn't mind sharing it. It wasn't that, but he'd already put the information in a course and people had paid for it. So we really struggled at that time of should Ryan share that or not? And we were trying to be really authentic as possible. But Ryan ended up saying, you know what, no, I really want to protect the integrity of the course and that many anglers have bought it, which he's very grateful for. And so he said no, that he couldn't share it. And that was the reason why. And what we did was at that time, we just kind of said, you know what, what's meant to be is meant to be. And if this article is going to get published, then that's great. And we're super appreciative. And if it isn't because of that one little piece of information, then I guess it just wasn't meant to be, right?
Right, that's right.
And it was definitely a conversation over a few days. And we really had to trust that just the greater thing was going to be done. And what ended up happening?
Yeah, the article was published.
Yeah, they published the article.
Yeah.
And it didn't even get pushed back on us again.
And really, there was a lot of good stuff in the article that was like, and people were like, well, why did you share that in that article?
Yeah.
Like, people said that to me, and I was like, what?
It was good tips.
Yeah, there was good tips.
Yeah.
And,
So really, it was about just holding the energy of what Ryan knew, and me, obviously, I'm the support partner, right? As being the conviction and having the confidence to say, no, this is going to be a boundary on this. And I have to hold this energy and trust that something's, going to come from it, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen. So,
right.
And we deal with these things all the time, and everyone does, but not everyone approaches it from just this level of trust and knowing that things will work out, right? We even had it this week when I went to record my Crush It in Sales podcast on Tuesday, and Ryan's Mac didn't work for me to record the podcast. We use his Mac. And how did you handle that?
So I just took a breath. It's no big deal. It's just a computer. Everything goes to the cloud. It's not like it's a lower unit of an engine or something like that.
Yeah, no, you were great because honestly, it is your computer. I only use it for the podcast. And instead of being all in a swirl, which is what happens to people a lot of times, it's definitely happened to us in the past for sure. I'm not going to say it hasn't. Ryan was super calm, and I just kind of said a little prayer. And then a few minutes later, I was like, I should go on Facebook in the Florida Keys locals and see who people would recommend for computer fixing. And I posted, and literally within a few hours, I think I had 5 responses to call Peter in Tavernier.
Yeah. He was really good.
He was amazing.
Yeah,
he had it fixed within the day.
I know. We used to have this computer guy down here, and we always took it to him. And
yeah, and we don't know what happened to him, so we had to find a new guy. And
after Irma and stuff, like a lot of things changed. And he disappeared. Along with a lot of other people. So
so it all worked out like really quickly. I think I picked it up Wednesday night at like 8:30.
Yeah,
and 8:30, something like that.
I was shocked he was done so quickly too. Yeah. I was like, oh my! I thought it was sometimes in the Keys it's anywhere now. Yeah, you're waiting like forever to get something back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I got back from my trip and I was like, the computer was done and fixed already. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yep. So if you listen to Crush It in Sales, that's why I did not have a podcast this past week, was because of the computer being down, and then we got it back, and I've just got other things to do. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to skip a week. I think the world will go on. So anyhow, but the biggest thing here, and why we're sharing these stories for just like proof that things work out, is that you have to remember this. You have to remember it. So before putting your nervous system in this whole swirl of things going wrong, especially if you're someone in Ryan's audience and you are a boater and there's things that happen to boats all the time, let's be honest, just take a beat, take a breath.
Yep, take a breath. It's hard sometimes.
You have to remember, and it is hard. Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard to do the easy things.
Yeah, so I had an awesome month last month, like really good. I mean, we fished black groupers every day, and most days we caught numerous black groupers. In fact, it was awesome. It was great. The clients were great. They got what they wanted, and we caught a nice big bag of stuff. But, stuff happens out there, and not a lot of guys like to talk about it because it's like, and you need to talk about this stuff because it just puts it in perspective that life's like way too short, and you should just like keep moving on, and good things are going to happen. So we got out there one morning. I had awesome days, and then the first fish hookup of the day, we hooked a black grouper, and immediately the braid line snaps at the rod tip, and we lose the fish because one of the eyes busted, and I was like, oh man, and. If that was like last year or maybe 2 years ago, I probably would have lost my shit. I really would have. I would have been like so upset, and I wouldn't have been like in the zone. But I just laughed it off, and I grabbed another rod, and I was like, dude, it's like you're going to catch another one. You're going to get another bite. No worries. And I really just had to like look at my client. It's like, okay, we just got to get back into it and put another line in the water. Shit happens, bud.
Yeah.
And it was probably a small fish because the way the fish ate, you kind of know how big they are. And so about another half an hour later, he catches a 40-pounder.
Nice.
A bigger one than he probably had on to begin with. And I looked at him, I started laughing. And I was like, you feel better now? I go, God, I wasn't going to let you down, man. I knew. And sometimes when deep down, and those of you guys that fish a lot, know that deep down, you're going to get another bite. The sword fishing guys know it all the time. Those guys really know, but it's the same thing, okay? So Wahoo guys really know, and I just knew that we were probably going to get another 2 to 3 bites. We ended up getting 3 bites that day. We missed the first one because of the malfunction, and we ended up catching the next 2, and that put us at the limit for 1 each, and then we caught all the yellowtails you wanted. So it was a great trip.
Yeah.
So that's it. And you don't let the mojo get down. You just keep going. So this shit happens, man.
Yeah.
So
how many times we'd have to just go to gratitude? We are grateful that we're healthy and safe.
Yep.
And the other things can be repaired, fixed, repurchased, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So find some gratitude in every little thing, and that will help reshift shift your mindset and reframe. I was putting reshift and reframe together, shift and reframe together. And, that'll just really help you too. But the key again is to remember to do that before you lose your shit.
Yep.
Remember
Yep.
to take a beat. Remember to shift to gratitude. Remember to ask for help. Remember to just take a moment and let some other solutions come through.
Yep.
So
I've had it's so amazing. I posted a photo this morning on Instagram of this awesome family that I had, and this is another. I'm going to end on this. I had an awesome family, and we had some really. It was supposed to be really nasty weather, and the north wind was going to set in, and I said, the family just really went. It was like one of those days where it was on the borderline of going. So that morning we went and we had some really strong wind, and that family was the most positive people that I've had, that they were not bitching about the weather. They were just, this is just awesome being out here. We've been waiting so long to try it, and we don't really care. Aww. And that was their attitude. And we had lost a big tuna that morning. It blew up on it, and we ended up catching a nice sailfish. And then it got to be where I was really struggling. And we were on a full day, and I just said, let's just hang in there. If the weather gets down enough, I'll definitely try to go. I can't do any bottom fishing right now because it was just too rough, and the patch reefs have slowed down, and they were just so nice, and they were grabbing the rods, and they were trying to help. It was just, and they were just smiling. And usually I'm like, what the hell's happening? These people are just it was a huge shift in how they were just nice. This really cool.
Aww.
So, and they really they really enjoyed being out there and this stuff.
Which is the type of clients that you ask the universe for, right?
So that afternoon, the seas laid down a little bit, and I took them to go try to catch some snappers, and we ended up catching a nice 10, I think we caught, 10 beautiful mutton snappers.
Wow.
In 4 hours, in between the next frontal system that rolled in. And they were just it was just a great day because of their attitudes and how they were they shifted the morning being so rotten, but they still caught fish.
Mm-hmm.
And and then all of a sudden in the afternoon, I took them and showed them how I bottom fish, and they just loved how I did it. And they were active on the rods, and they just had a great time. And I always tell people, if you put into it what you get out of it.
Yeah.
So they put in some really hard work, and they did an amazing job. So I posted that photo this morning because it was just a good memory of the work that you put in on days when it's raining and ugly, and sticking with it, using techniques that I teach people, and follow the path. You follow the plan and things work out. So I posted that this morning because it was just a good, fun reminder of how weather and all that stuff can really not mean jack shit. And so it was just a fun thing for me to remember. So
check out Ryan's post.
Yeah. I had an awesome day. And when I posted on there, it was raining, and it was raining that day, and it was miserable. And the sun let out that day, and I literally had 3 hours to put together a catch. And the folks had never bottom fished for snappers on the wrecks. And I just showed them how to do it, and how to get the leaders out, and how to make it go of it, and how to set the hooks, and and then only good things happened because they listened, and it was just a great day. So sometimes when I post things, it's all these memories that come up. And it's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Love it. All right. Anything else you want to add, Captain Ryan?
That's it. I appreciate everybody that fished with me last month, and those guys that rebooked with me to go fishing again this month. My month of June is completely full, so my next available is July 8th right now. So, and yeah. If you're looking to go fishing with me in July, I highly suggest you get your bookings in, and then we'll see what the month of July brings. So looking forward to seeing everybody in June.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate everyone that listens, and we hope you have a great week ahead. If you're listening to this on Sunday morning, for me, and whenever Ryan ends up posting it. And you can follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram, and my website, melindavanfleet.com, where everything is accessible, both podcasts, blogs, etc. And Ryan, how can people connect with you?
They can email me at goodkarmaryan@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram if you want to see what I'm catching. Again, I'm behind on posting on Instagram, but I'll be back to regular fishing reports here soon through the Good Karma Sport Fishing app.
Yes, download the app.
Yeah, download the fishing app. That's the way to go if you really want to get what I'm doing or what I know as far as helping people out. So I do this podcast to help people out. Okay? So, and that's why I do it.
Yeah, and we've sold a lot of courses lately, which is so exciting because getting the feedback on how the courses have improved people's catch. And if you're in the Facebook group, it's just really exciting. And I just want to give a shout out and say thank you because it really lights Ryan up. He's always so excited when he sees those posts. And he knows that people are not only buying the courses, but are using them.
Yep. Use them.
Use the course, people. They're great. The tips are amazing. The prices of the courses are crazy low. And it's just so we can help more people enjoy fishing and enjoy any type of family time or alone time. It's really great for mental health, and we just really appreciate all of you that do that and share. So thank you.
Yes, thank you guys. And don't think I said this, but my Good Karma Sport Fishing _FL_keys is my Instagram. So that's it.
Awesome. Have a good one. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. Anytime you're fishing, it's all good.